Ahoy there folks, I'm Captain Benzie and welcome back to another video for EVE Online. Have you ever wanted to be a notorious space pirate? Do you yearn for a Z killboard that's full of green with a dangerous rating, but lack the necessary PvP skills to make that happen? Do your two brain cells constantly vie for third place? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how you too can be a notorious Z killboard sweaty tryhard with one simple trick that the PvP gods don't want you to know. And if you enjoy this video, if I manage to make you laugh, drop a like and a comment down below. If this video makes you angry, please do remove the crayon from your nose before responding to avoid further cerebral damage. And as always, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, I've got a PayPal tip jar down below, alongside a Patreon page where you can get your name in the stars at the end of each video. Finally, come join the Catskull Community Discord and use my referral link for 1 million free skill points. All of this is linked in the description down below. Well, are you ready, kids? Let's showcase how to pump up your Z killboard with zero effort and brain power required. PvP is an intrinsic part of the EVE Online experience. I would even go as far to say that PvP is absolutely what EVE Online is all about, and that all of the other content around it either supports PvP or gives you excuses to go out and do PvP. But PvP is difficult, right? You need to understand your ship, you need a decent enough fit for it, you then need to undock with some friends, go hunting, and then you've got to learn how to locate and capture prey, and then also be skilled enough to actually win the fight. Now, if that sounds really difficult to your smooth brain, then what do you do? Well, that's what I'm here to showcase. Wouldn't it be so much easier if you could just park your ship all day, press one button, and have everything explode and your Z killboard just light up green like the entire world's traffic lights all went go at the same time? Wouldn't that be amazing? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Gatecamp smart bombing in low sec. All you need to do is grab yourself a battleship. Any battleship will do. We're going to fill all of those high slots with large, rudimentary concussion bombs. Now, there are lots of different types of smart bombs, and we'll talk about these more later on in this video, but I prefer rudimentary concussion bombs because rudimentary and concussion is pretty much an apt way to describe most of the pilots who use these, so it just seems fitting. Essentially, these have a radius of 5,000 meters, and when you activate it, everything in that 5,000 meters takes 300 hit points of damage. That means across the board here, we're doing 2,100 hit points worth of damage every single cycle. It's that easy. The rest of the fit is purely up to you. Some people go for big tank, some people go for unlimited your unlimited capacitor to keep it running. All you really need, though, are those smart bombs, because they are going to do all of the hard work that otherwise would be just so far beyond your brain capacity if this is the kind of content you want to run that you just wouldn't cope. So, what is a smart bomb? Because there are a couple of things that we need to talk about, right? Well, if we open up the Smart Bomb page, it talks about it radiating an omnidirectional pulse from the ship that causes kinetic damage to surrounding vessels. Now, there's a lot of really big words in there, like pulse and damage. Basically, press button, thing go boom. If we look at the attributes, we can see here that this has an 8-second activation time. Fairly easy to get into the skills required for this. We just need Energy, Pulse Weapons 1, Science 2, and Power Grid Management 2. Nice and easy, nothing difficult here at all, which is kind of vital if this is the kind of ship you want to fly and the kind of content that you think is really fun to do. You can't activate these when you're really close to a gate. This is why I have the micro warp drive here, because you need to make sure that you can activate your modules. That's a really important step in doing this. If you can't activate the modules, it won't work. I need to repeat that because anyone who's watching this with the serious intent of going low sec smart bombing probably didn't get that the first couple of times. If you cannot activate the module, it will not work. So you need to warp to a gate and then pick another gate in the system. Now, this, if you're in somewhere like Abazon or Rancer, you warp to one of those gates and then you pick any one of the other gates and you approach it. You approach it using the micro warp drive, which makes your ship go zoomy fast speeds, and once you are far enough away from the gate to be able to activate your smart bombs, you turn everything off, you sit and wait. And as soon as you see someone warping towards you, you hit all of the buttons. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 smart bombs hit, and I know that's a really big number for some of you, but that means when you see something appearing on grid, or if you've got a friend who's sitting on another gate and he sees someone leaving towards yours, you press F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, and F7 all at the same time, and you do a big boom around your ship, and anything landing on grid with you will die. Now, if you've got multiple friends, you can warp to your gate, and then you align and drift out towards one of the other gates, and your friends do this the same on all of the other gates. If you're really smart, you also find where all of the celestials are in the system, and again, that's a really big word. A celestial is a space rock. Things like stars, planets. Align to those, drift out, and make sure that you are close enough to the gate that you can start activating your that you're close to the gate, but far enough away that you can start activating your smart bombs. And as soon as you see anyone approaching, just smash those buttons. Hell, slam your face into the keyboard for all it matters. Just do whatever it takes to make sure you press all 7 of those keys at once. And then anything that lands on grid with you will die. Okay, but look, let's take this down to serious talk for a moment, shall we? Yeah, I'm kind of doing this all sardonically at this point, and I'm certain there's a load of very angry comments being slammed away on keyboards right now already about how smart bombing is important to EVE Online because of X, Y, and Z reason, and oh, actually, you can avoid it if you're really, like, clever about it. Yeah, let's talk about that, shall we? And why I think that smart bombing gate camping in LowSec is literally the most brain-dead form of PvP out there. No, I'm not just salty about this. Yeah, I've lost some pods recently to it. Oh well, like, it's really not much to me. What really pisses me off about this absolute smooth brain kind of tactic is that it's really damaging to the game's ecosystem in a way that no other PvP is. Like hunting people down, there are counters to. You can teach someone that if they want to take their venture into LowSec, they need to be watching D-scan, they need to be, you know, fit in a certain way. If they're in a bigger ship like a Retriever or a Procure or something like that, then actually pre-aligning and starting to move towards the point you're going to warp out to. There are these kind of counters that you can go for, right? There is no reactive counter to a smart bomb gate camp. You land on grid with this, you're dead. It's as simple as that. There are ways that you can counter a smart bomb gate camp, yes. The usual things that get explained are, oh, just don't warp from gate to gate, warp to a celestial first. Except a good smart bomb gate camp will have also aligned to the celestials as well, just to make sure that they've got those approaches covered. The other argument is, oh, you just set up a ping 250 kilometers above the gate or whatever, you warp to that, and that puts you out of smart bomb range, then you can just warp down. There's 2 problems with this as well. One is that it doesn't always work. Yes, you can often set up a ping that you can warp to that might be behind the gate, for example, and then you come down into it. Sometimes people get lucky with their smart bomb positionings. I've genuinely been in a Rancer gate camp where I've warped to it, cloaked in a cheetah, and I've looked from my ping to the gate, and there's a guy smart bombing between me and the ping. Just because he decided that a lot of people set up pings behind the gate, so he was going to sit there to catch them. There was literally nothing I could do. I just had to, you know, warp off back and go a different route home. And that's all very well and good until all of the gates in the system are camped. Now, the second big problem with this, that the people who talk about, oh, smart bomb gate camping's really good actually, is that, oh, you need to set up the ping before the gate camp's there. Like, if it's your first time going through Rancer or Amazon and you want to set up those pings, but there's already a gate camp there, what do you do exactly? Like, there's not an easy way to do this. And if you don't know that there's a gate camp there, are you seeing my point here? Now, I get the argument that PvP is important to EVE and that hunting someone down is important, and absolutely, I agree that any newbie pilot who gets hunted down by an existing player should be able to handle that. You know, they should understand that is an intrinsic part of the game. I don't like the whole thing of when people come up to me and say, oh, you know, I just want to play this game completely safely. That's not EVE. That's not how this game works. As we've seen from EVE Echoes, that is the way that madness lies, and it will break the game. You can't make high-sec completely safe. You have to teach pilots to be better at it. Oh, I was just in a stabber and I was exploring a wormhole and I got shot. Okay, but I, as a wormholer, don't know if you're trying to seed. You might be pretending to be a new player. That happens quite frequently, so we do have to shoot anyone and everyone, because the intel game is a big part of EVE Online. Going out and hunting in low sec, I'm all for it. Ganking in high sec, do it. Awesome. It's got counters. Smart bombing doesn't have reactive counters. It's only got preemptive counters, which means if you want to survive it, you need to know how to survive it ahead of time. You can't react and adapt to it. You need to know where it's likely to happen, and you need to know how to set up all of these like pings and things around it. If you're a new player, there is nothing intuitive about losing a ship to a smart bomb gate camp. Nothing at all. There is no easy learning point there. There's no way that you can lose a ship, come look at what's happened and go, oh, okay, I see how to handle that. It just doesn't work like that. And I would make the absolute argument, I have no statistics for this obviously, but I'm sure someone at CCP might be able to dig through data and have a look and see if this tracks. But I reckon more people quit after being smart bomb gate camped than any other form of PvP. I think most people who play EVE Online and die to a PvPer learn from that. I think most of the new players who die to smart bombs don't learn from that, because there's no active learning point, no easy way to look at it and go, oh, okay, that's what I could have done differently. You need to understand the mechanics of how the gate camp works, and that's not something that ever gets taught to you unless you decide that smart bomb gate camping is the thing for you. Now, how do you fix this? Well, of course, you can teach people how to get around this, but that's never going to be 100% coverage, and that's going to be really hard to do. You're always going to have people who don't learn about this before they encounter it. You could try and, you know, make the argument that, well, they need to join a corporation. Yeah, but a lot of new players are on day one and perhaps have gone to, you know, Heck or whatever. Started off as a Minmatar player, they've ended up in Heck, and someone said, oh, you should go to Jita. So they're on their way to Jita, they jump through Ransa, and they die. They've got no idea what just happened, they've just lost one of their ships. They're back in Heck, they grab another ship, they go through again, they try something a little bit different, they just die again. Doesn't matter what they do, they will just die over and over and over again with no understanding of what to do. And I love PvPers in EVE Online, because when I die to them, I tend to message them and go, hey, great fight, what could I have done better? And 9 times out of 10, they respond with like, oh, yeah, okay, I saw that you've got this on your ship, or that you did this, here's what I would have done, or have you thought about this, or maybe that? You have really nice conversations with them. Smart bomb gate campers don't give a crap about that. You message them and just be like, okay, what could I have done different? They will respond something like, lol, don't die. They are just salt farmers. They are not good players, and I would argue that they are actively damaging the game. I don't know how you fix this. Does it need some kind of change to how low sec works? Because I kind of get it that, you know, I think low sec smart bomb ratting is a really cool thing. So you can't just ban smart bombs from low sec and high sec. But maybe make it so they can't be used on grid with a gate in low sec or high sec? I don't know. I just think this is such a really naff form of PvP. It requires zero effort to set up, and the ways to counter it require you to have knowledge of it ahead of time, which is just insane. Just generally insane. I'm sure some of you disagree. If you've got a reasonable argument to make in the comment section down below, I'd love to hear it. But if you just want to scribble out an angry message in crayon, well, yeah, go for that, but I probably won't respond or read it. Let's have a nice conversation about this. Why do you think, honestly, smart bombing gate camps have a place in EVE Online? What is it about this that actively is a good thing for the game? Not just for you, for the game. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I would love to know. And again, because of the inevitable response here, people are going to go to my Z kill board and go, oh, well, look, you lost 2 ships in Amazon, you know, 2 shuttles in Amazon yesterday. Yeah, because I saw that there was a gate camp there, and I tried to warp from a Celestial to the gate, and I got smart bombed, and then I came back and went, cool, well, let's try the other route, go from a different Celestial to the gate, and it didn't work. So it got me thinking, am I salty that I lost those ships? No, they were shuttles, and I had basic implants in them, like really nothing expensive. I'm not salty about that. It's more a point that it got me thinking that, is this actually a good thing? Why does this exist? What are the arguments for it? What are the arguments against it? Let's open up a discussion, and I thought it'd be fun to do that in a fairly aggressive way for this one. Hope you folks enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below. Happy sailing, and see you in New Eden!